Now the questions from all of you to the panelists.
Good afternoon to all. My question is to Mr. P.R. Ramesh. My name is Tuti. Sir, we have been looking, there is a huge difference between Indian companies and international companies. International companies are far better than Indian companies, we all know this fact. Sir, I would like to ask you, what would you like to suggest to the Indian companies so that they can compete successfully with the international companies?
Well, first, the generic statement, there are very good Indian companies too. It's not that there are good Indian companies and only international companies. The problem for us typically is we settle for less than the best. And our focus is not on quality. Our focus is on short-term gains. International companies are hugely quality-driven. They have processes. They have zero tolerance for deviations from those processes. And they're very powerful in terms of building brands. Indian companies need to work towards that. They need to be process-driven. For every small thing, there is a process in place in an international organization. Even how to close down a company, there is a process manual. So you insulate people from processes. People may come and people may go. But the process will ensure the organization succeeds. In Indian companies, oh, he's a good worker. They know he will manage the things. The process is not laid down. It's people-driven. So the people change, the organization's culture changes. The second real reason is that zero tolerance which I mentioned to you. International companies are fairly heartless in that. You slip, you deviate from the process, you will lose your job. There are international companies, even when you drive outside the office without wearing a seat belt, you are sacked. If you take a laptop to a pub, you are sacked because you may leave the laptop, there is confidential information. They are ruthless about compliance. And that also makes a difference.
Good morning. I am Swagat Subudhi from Mothers Public School. And my question is again from P.R. Ramesh. What are the jobs that I can do in the field of commerce in which public speaking is an integral part? Because I am good in that. And another question which I wanted to ask is how we students can get a platform so that we can patent our products which we have innovated.
The first question, clearly, there are certain jobs which do not require public skills, like the investigative sort of jobs which we do, the audit-related jobs which we do, the internal audit-related jobs which we do, that within the office, the desk jobs which you do not require public speaking skills. Because if you're an investigator, you're not speaking public. Most professional jobs require you to go out and win the job, convince the client to give you the job. For that, you need to have good presentation skills. To execute the job, you need to be able, if you're a consultant, you need to be able to get information out and being able to provide solution. You need to be able to sell your solution. So clearly, in the field of commerce, any job which requires interaction with the public will require presentation skills. Anything which requires less interaction but more analytical and desk-facing or a probing mind will require less public speaking skills. The second thing is about innovation. Now, innovation is a state of mind, primarily. You should have that burning curiosity, as George Bernard Shaw said. Some people ask why. He says, I ask why not. Innovation starts with not just asking why not? It's not just why you do this, why not some other way? And that's core. Or there are organizations, and we are also working towards that. Our single biggest challenge is how do you create an organization with three things? How do you create an organization of people with a heart to feel, a head to think, and a hand to work? So that head to think is all about innovation. We don't want zombies who will just follow the process. We want people to even challenge those processes and come up and innovate. Because the future is on innovation, as you heard in the morning.
Something on the innovation and something I heard on Thomas Edison. Do you know when Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times in his experiment, his assistant asked him, are you not unhappy that 1,000 times you tried to bulb to illuminate and 1,000 times it failed? You know what was the answer of Thomas Edison? His answer was, I did not fail. Actually, I found out 1000 ways why the bulb did not glow. So it gave 1000 answers. It was not 1000 failures, but it was 1000 reasons of finding out and way ahead that I should go. The next question.
Sir, my question is to Honorable Satpathy sir. Sir, I wanted to ask you that according to you, so what is the difference between a student who achieves 98% and he is practical in nature but yet he is empathetic in nature, and a student who achieves 98% and believes in spiritualism?
Have you heard of the 6 blind people scaling the wow the elephant is?
No, sir.
6 blind people, they went around to find out what would be the elephant like. So somebody holding the tail of the elephant thought it will be like a rope, and somebody touching the trunk of the elephant thought it will be like some banyan tree or something like that, and somebody touching the body thought that it will be like a wall or a mountain. Scaling high in the examination, many a time, it's like a coincidence. It's a coincidence. I will give you a very good example of that. One of my students, when I was in Bhavani Patna, Government College Bhavani Patna, was learning flute, and he had not even completed 1 year of learning flute. So I gave him a piece of 5 minutes flute playing recital, and he came to Cuttack for a state level festival. What he did for 1 month total, for 1 hour from 4 to 5, he was playing that piece minimum for 10 times, and in the day whenever he was getting, he was playing that. So within 1 month, he had played not less than 1000 times playing the same recital piece. And in the competition, when he got his turn to play, he did it in such a manner he could run above all those who have an experience of more than 5 years, 10 years, even learning from the childhood with different instruments. But he became the topper. So looking to what is the percentage and what somebody is achieving is in one side, but in other side what happens, that boy who was the topper, who was the best, the gold medalist in that event, now he is a guru in flute, and he is the first ranking disciples of Hari Prasad Chaurasia. So what one is doing at one point, because I feel very disturbed here, looking to the years of studying, 96% cut point high school in BJP college, 94% in Ramadevi, same 94-95% in Ravenshaw cut point. But when the results comes out, there are first class, there are toppers within best 20, there are first class, there are second class, there are third class, and there are fail people. I am still now in my wing to do that. And after this, I will tell you some techniques. Where lies the fault? Why somebody goes in a wavy manner?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sharanya Tripathi from BJM School. My question is for Mr. P.C. Jain. Okay. Sir, we all know that commerce education is very important in all our lives. But since Standard 1, we have been learning lessons on science and also arts. But why not commerce?
Earlier, people used to say there are only 2 options. Either go become a doctor or engineer, meaning by join science. And then if you are not fit for that, go for humanities or something like this. I believe after independence, we thought of let us grow economically. And therefore, there is a need for commerce graduates or economic graduates over a period of time. When the economy is growing with 8, 9, 10%, and likely to grow, naturally more and more commerce graduates will be required. And there is a possibility that the commerce contents may be a part of curriculum even at the school level, at the lower level.
So I'm Arindam from Mothers Public School. So throughout our schooling, we are asked to be self-centered. Teachers keep telling us it's your project, your marks, your career. But the moment we step into the job or the real world, we are expected to work as a team. So why is this disparity between what we learn in the school and what we have to face in the real world? So, and if I may have the perspective of both the chairman of Deloitte and the principal of the greatest institution on this, on both sides.
You have to realize that teamwork includes you. So if you can pull down a team, why do we say even in a cricket team you have to perform? But you have to perform along with the rest of the team. Your non-performance will bring down the team. So it's not that teamwork and you are alternates in a way. Teamwork and you are complementary. You are as much part of the team. You need to excel, and whilst doing that, ensure that your colleagues also excel, not by pushing them down. So don't compete with your colleagues, work with your colleagues as a team, and that's what we also encourage in our organization.
The reason is simple and very crystal clear. At a school level, you are taught a lot of discipline, character building, everything is there. But in the college life, everything is reversed. You are taught democratic values. You are open to debate. You are open to question a teacher. You are open to question a principal. Meaning by, sometimes in a transition period, a student feel very uncomfortable that the principal is not giving any attention to a student, or teacher is not giving any attention. There is no parent-teacher meeting. There is no diary or something like that. The reason is simple. You are believed in. You are trusted. The assumption is now you are qualified enough to give your own judgment. You are expected to take an informed decision. And in that process, teamwork set in. And therefore, participative learning activities are encouraged beyond the classroom. Even in the classroom, there is a lot of participation. And there is no problem of ego that you are bright, you are not bright, or something like this. And therefore, it is expected that you are given enough space, but you are complementary to each other. You are not competitive to each other. And therefore, a team is built up, and 1 + 1 becomes 11 rather than 1 - 1 or something like that.